listening to Coffee and Conversation with Recovery Advocate Network, the nonprofit organization that strives to address the staggering disparity in resource availability for individuals suffering from mental health disorders, processing disorders, addictions, trauma healing, and sexual identity challenges. Together, we strive to end the stigma associated with these challenges so that true healing can begin.
Welcome back to Coffee and Conversations Between the Lines blog club series. My name is Joshua Young, and this is episode number 82, where the immensely talented Geneva Carr will read my blog post entitled Emerging from the Shadows. I am deeply grateful to Geneva for volunteering to read this specific piece, knowing that her style, her grace, and her caring nature would bring it to life in a unique and powerful way. Prepare for a deeply moving experience as Geneva reads on this sensitive topic of sexual abuse, but also the resilience of the human spirit. Geneva is an actress with an extensive resume, performing on film, television, and stage. She's probably best known for her portrayal of Marissa Morgan on the hit CBS series Bull, and her recurring roles on Law & Order: Criminal Intent and Rescue Me. She has had numerous guest starring roles on shows such as Sex and the City, Blue Bloods, and Person of Interest, in addition to her film roles in College Road Trip and Asian Persuasion, to name a few. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention her incredible performance as Margery in the original Broadway cast of Hand to God, earning her a nomination for the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Play. You can learn more about Geneva in the show notes. As you listen to Geneva's reading, we invite you to engage fully with the narrative, allowing the words to resonate and stir within you. However, we also recognize the power of such stories to evoke strong emotions and memories. If at any point you find yourself feeling triggered or overwhelmed, we urge you to reach out to your support system. Between the Lines episodes are written by guests who prefer to use their written voice instead of their interview voice to share their stories. As a reminder, the views expressed in any blog are the views of the author, and the purpose is to provide a safe place for the author's voice to be heard. Just a quick reminder about Recovery Advocate Network, or RAN. RAN's mission is to support individuals dedicated to their recovery journey, but facing challenges due to insurance loopholes. We are on the verge of funding our first bridge grants, which will provide crucial financial assistance to those in need. Your contribution, no matter how small, can make a significant difference in changing and saving lives. We are grateful to have you as a part of our community, so please consider visiting our website at www.recoveryadvocatenetwork.org and clicking the donate button today. So, without further ado, fill up your coffee, sit back, and allow Geneva to guide you through this transformative journey. Emerging from the Shadows. Written by Joshua Young. Read by Geneva Carr.
I remember the first time I attended a men's group meeting for individuals seeking healing and recovery from sexual abuse. It was a pivotal moment in my journey towards healing. A journey that began with a hesitant whisper to my sponsor about the torment I endured for over a year at the hands of someone I had once trusted implicitly. I often refer to him as my shadow monster, a fitting name for the darkness he brought into my life when I was just 13 years old. Sharing the truth with my sponsor was the first step in a series of courageous acts that would ultimately lead me towards reclaiming my sense of self. As I diligently worked through the 12 steps in Alcoholics Anonymous, I found the strength to confide in my wife, and later in a therapist who became a guiding light on my path to healing. It was my therapist who suggested that I explore the possibility of joining a men's group, assuring me that my experiences were more common than I might have believed. Walking into that first meeting, I felt a mixture of trepidation and hope. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I knew that I was ready to confront the shadows that had haunted me for far too long. As I took my seat among the group, I remained silent, choosing instead to listen intently to the speaker, who bravely shared his own journey of trauma and resilience. His story resonated deeply with me. He spoke of the darkness that enveloped his childhood, beginning at the age of 10 years old. He recounted the horrors he endured at the hands of his uncle, who had once been a trusted member of their family. Like me, he had suffered sexual abuse in silence, burdened by the fear that no one would believe him if he dared speak the truth. Often left alone with his tormentor, he navigated the murky waters of confusion and pain, struggling to make sense of his own identity and sexuality amidst the chaos. As he entered his teenage years, the weight of his trauma became unbearable, driving him to seek solace in drugs and reckless behavior. His life spiraled out of control, marked by a series of destructive choices that only served to deepen his despair. Yet even in the darkest of times, there flickered a glimmer of resilience within him, a determination to survive no matter the cost. Eventually, he found himself behind bars, serving a lengthy prison sentence for a violent crime committed in the throes of desperation. It was there, within the confines of his cell, that he began to unravel the tangled web of his past, seeking solace in the support of fellow inmates and the guidance of a compassionate therapist who saw beyond his mistakes to the wounded soul beneath. Through years of introspection and hard-won insight, he gradually pieced himself back together, emerging from the shadows of his past as a beacon of hope for others who walked a similar path. At 35 years old, he was granted parole, and this time not arming himself with a deadly weapon, but rather a newfound sense of purpose and a determination to build a better life for himself. He found work, pursued his education, and eventually became a skilled therapist specializing in addiction and trauma, a testament to the transformative power of healing. At 45 years old, he stood before his parents, a man reborn, and found the courage to share his truth with them. In that moment of vulnerability, he shattered the illusions that had long clouded their perception of him, revealing the painful reality of his past. Their response was one of shock and disbelief, a poignant reminder of the ways in which our truths can be obscured by the shadows of silence. Yet in that moment of reckoning, there was also the glimmer of understanding, a recognition of the resilience that had carried him through the darkest of times. His story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that healing is possible, even in the face of unspeakable pain. As I sat among the members of the men's group listening to his words, I felt a renewed sense of hope stirring within me, a belief that no matter how deep the shadows may run, there is always the possibility of finding light on the other side.
Thank you for joining us today with your coffee and conversation. We hope you've been encouraged and learned something from today's story. To learn more about today's guest, please check out our show notes for more details. Now it's time to remember to like this episode, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to ensure you do not miss future episodes. Recovery Advocate Network envisions a world where individuals with mental health challenges receive comprehensive and effective treatment without the worry of financial burdens to themselves or their families, all without the stigmas often present in society. We are proud that every individual worked with RAN does so on a 100% volunteer basis. You can support the mission by making a financial donation via PayPal or Venmo, or email donate@recoveryadvocatenetwork.org if you would like to donate items for our next fundraising auction. Please visit our website at www.recoveryadvocatenetwork.org to learn more. Now, Stay in the loop about upcoming events, future episodes, and more by following us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X, TikTok, LinkedIn, and all major podcast platforms. As a reminder, the experiences and advice expressed in this episode are the host and guest's own personal stories and do not represent the opinions of any organization mentioned. Ryan is passionate about opening the doors for all voices and experiences, not just those expressed in any particular podcast. If you want to share your experiences or expertise, we encourage you to be a future guest by emailing us at podcast@recoveryadvocatenetwork.org or submit a blog by emailing blog@recoveryadvocatenetwork.org. We also encourage you to comment on the episode so that we can continue to provide content that is most beneficial to the community. How do you do that? Visit our website at www.recoveryadvocatenetwork.org, and in the top right corner, click that comment button and comment. So listeners, what do you need to do? Pause what you're doing, subscribe, follow us. Please give us a like and a 5-star rating, write some meaningful comments, and most importantly, share these episodes with your friends. You never know whose heart you will touch, so please be a part of a reason someone has new hope today. If this episode was triggering to you, we encourage you to contact your support system, therapist, national and community support groups, the Global Crisis Text Line by texting 741-741, and/or if in the U.S., dialing 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you're in the U.S. and need additional resources such as shelter, support group resources, transportation, food, and/or a safe, confidential path out of physical or emotional domestic abuse, please call 211 or visit www.211info.org for assistance. Now, we know you are very busy, and we are grateful that you said yes to sharing time with us today. If you stuck to our 3 C's of engagement and listened to the full episode, then visit the podcast section of our website and leave the comment about the podcast, and you'll be entered to win an autographed copy of one of the books from one of our book club series, as well as a coffee and conversation coffee mug. So thanks again. Until next time, back to your coffee.